voice here. I don't know. Okay, I need to film before my voice gives out on me. Hi everyone. I actually wanted to do a little bit of a readathon. So I wanted to do a 48-hour readathon. I'm just off work for a couple of days, and what better way to spend your days off than just reading and relaxing. It's also the week of Valentine's, so I want to read like just romance books. So yeah, I just plan to read for 48 hours straight through, and I will break it up with things. I think I will like watch movies and play my Switch, maybe watch some TV, and I'm definitely going to sleep. So I'm not going to be fully reading for 48 hours. So I started today at like 11:30 a.m. I think it's about 1:15 right now. So I have been reading a little bit of From Blood and Ash. I'm nearly finished this book actually. I think I've got about 150 pages to go out of 600. I've been reading this for the last week or so. I have to say I'm really enjoying it, which is really surprising because I've heard like really bad reviews of this book. I will say it's very badly written and it definitely needs editing. I don't know how this didn't really go through a round of editing. Really could have done with that, which is such a pity because I do actually quite like the story. You have the main character Poppy. She's the maiden, she's the chosen one. We still don't know really what that means yet, but she's kind of set apart by the gods and she's supposed to ascend, and that's supposed to help the kingdom that she's in. So in this world you have the ascended, so you have people that have been blessed by the gods and they're basically kind of immortal, they don't age anymore. And then it's based on how you're born into the family. I think if you're the third daughter or son, you're given to the gods. I think if you're the second born, you go to be ascended. If you're firstborn, I think you stay with your family, I think. It's still not too clear, I'm not quite sure. So you have Poppy, she has to kind of stay away from anything and everyone. She has her guards, and basically it's a fantasy romance with her and her guard called Hawk. To be honest, there's not much romance in this book. Like, it's definitely a fantasy book with romance being one of the main plots. So fantasy romance in that category. I really do like the plot. It's very tropey. It has been done before. There's nothing quite special about it, but I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying picking it up, even though I know it's bad. It's a bit like junk food for your mind a little bit. For me, it's a solid 3-star at the moment. I can't give it higher than that because it's so badly written. The main part that's very annoying is use of punctuations in this. So if she's saying something, it's I ... I can't. And that happens so much throughout the book that it's very jarring to read. So yeah, I definitely just think if this went through a round of editing and was edited well, I feel like it would have been a much stronger book, which is such a pity. I would definitely continue reading this series. I'll definitely pick up the next one. I think there's a few out already, and maybe the editing's gotten better. I don't know, but I will definitely give it a go. But yeah, so I think I'll finish this fairly soon. But yeah, that's book number 1. I have a few books I mentioned in my February TBR, so I'll link that here. I would like to get to Bridgerton. So this is the first one, Duke and I. I've never seen the show or read the books. I've heard that the show is better than the books, but thought this would be kind of a fun romance to read, kind of quick one. Then maybe I might watch the show along with it, so we shall see. And then the next one is by Casey McQuiston. That is One Last Stop. This is about a girl called August. I think she is just kind of like really bored with her life, kind of really run down, and she has this crush on her commute to work, and her crush is actually a time traveler from the 1970s. So I don't know if this is any good or not, but I will give it a go, and I don't think this would be a slow read either. So another thing I want to read, since it's romance themed, is the Lore Olympus series. This is by Rachel Smith, and it's originally a webtoon, so I think you can read this for free online, but I got the paperback editions. I've had this one for ages and I just got 2 and 3. 4 is coming out in May, I think. But yeah, for a readathon, I just thought it would be fun to maybe break up these books with some graphic novels, because you do read these in an hour or two. We'll see. My plan is to maybe like read a book, then read a graphic novel, you know, kind of in tandem. So we shall see. That's very ambitious, but we'll see if I get there. Because yeah, I do want to do other things as well, but I just really want to relax, have a nice 48-hour readathon. I've only done this once before and it was a 24-hour readathon and I really enjoyed it, so I think it'll be good fun and I'll take you guys with me. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go make some lunch now and attempt to finish this. So hi again. I actually didn't do an update yesterday at all. I'm not gonna lie, I was feeling a little bit unwell. I didn't read as much as I was hoping, and then I also had my friend come over for a visit as well. So that being said, really enjoyed yesterday and how much I read, but I just didn't sit down to update at all. So I thought I would do it now. It's actually 11:30 now, so technically the 48 hours are over, but I was thinking I might actually just like continue on. I'm gonna keep going. I'll just keep going for the rest of today, especially since I didn't fully read non-stop all day yesterday as well, so just thought I'd tack on the rest of today. The only thing is I have a driving lesson now, so I have to go. I have a few things to do today, but yeah, I think I'll continue reading until this evening and then wrap this up tomorrow maybe. So I finished From Blood and Ash. Actually, finishing this book off took me longer than I thought. I was like, oh, I've got like 200 pages left, that's fine. I'll finish that in no time. Actually, it did take me a while. I'm always like overly optimistic about how much I can read in a day. Yeah, so my TBRs are always just way too optimistic. But still, very happy that I finished this. I have to say, I have such mixed feelings about this book. Such mixed feelings because I thoroughly enjoyed it, but the flaws of this book are so glaring that it like just pushes the book back so much, which is such a pity because I think the plot of this would have been so interesting if it was executed better. Yeah, the writing, the non-existing editing, just wish it was written a little bit better. The writing wasn't too bad. I think it was more the dialogue. So the punctuations, for example, as I said before, it's so jarring, so jarring. It just like takes you out of like reading it smoothly. That's the only way I can describe it. It takes you out of the experience a little bit. For example, page 404, it says, I wished ... I wished I'd never gone to the right. It would just pack more punch if she just kind of left it there. But that's throughout the book. It didn't take me longer to find it. It's happened so much that it's just, I think this book would be, I'm not gonna lie, 50 pages shorter if those were gone from the book. However, I have to say, I really enjoyed it. It's very tropey. I feel like this book was written in 2010, but it wasn't. It was written in 2020, I think. I think this came out in 2020. So yeah, it is very tropey. The main character is the chosen one. She's not like other girls. You have like the romance lead, and he, I have to say, a little bit patronizing, you know, like making it clear to her that she is not like other people and she is wonderful, and even though she doesn't realize it herself, you know, there is that. You've got tropes like vampires and werewolves and main government hiding what's actually going on, you know, things like that, which, you know, they're tropes, but they work. They work sometimes. I thought they did work here. I really liked the plot of this. Really liked it. The twists and turns were fantastic. I wasn't expecting half of it. What I was saying before, like junk food for your brain, or just like, I'm enjoying this. Not very good, but I'm enjoying it. So I ended up giving it 3 stars. I think I couldn't rate it any higher than that just because of the glaring kind of flaws. There's definitely some parts in this, like, I'm not crazy about how they describe black characters. They make it very obvious that a character is black, but they never make a white character very obvious that they're white. You know, it's like assumed if they're not described as black that they're white, which I don't like. There's also some misogynistic comments as well, making a point that girls can do whatever, you know, like that's been done 20,000 times. Still, they just didn't sit the right way for me. So yeah, for me, this book felt like it was written 10 years ago. I have such mixed feelings because I enjoyed reading this. It was 600 pages and it was such a quick read. Like I only started this like last week, I think, and it was fun. I think that's what I experienced. I had fun reading this book. In terms of the romance, I mean, like the romance is definitely a big plot of this book. It's definitely not everything. It's definitely a fantasy book with romance elements. I might not be the target audience for this as well because the main character is 18. It definitely reads young adult. I might have preferred this more if it was more of an adult book because the character is very young. She's kind of silly sometimes. I really liked, there's a scene here, and it's during the rite if you read the book, where she's talking to her guard Victor and explaining how she's feeling. I actually really enjoyed that. Explain like her role within this kingdom. But yeah, as I described before, she has to seclude herself from others. She really only talks to her maid and her guards, Victor and Hawk, and that's really the only interaction she has, and she's treated really badly. She has to be secluded. She can't experience what other people can experience, so you can understand her frustration, and I actually really liked that, and her choosing her own path really, which was really nice. A bit tropey, felt a bit juvenile, the writing style, which is a pity because I think the plot of this, if this was well written, I think this would have been just such an excellent book. But it's a pity that the flaws are so obvious that I had to knock it. I definitely had to knock it. I think this could have been easily a 4-star book if just some things were just tweaked modernized a little bit, edited a little bit more. It's such a pity, but I definitely actually do want to keep going with the series. I definitely will read the second one. There's definitely questions in this, like the twists I really liked. I really liked all the twists. There's a part at the end, and it has to do with arousal, and it's a bit weird, I have to say, but I think that will be explained a bit more in the next book. I think they're making this stamp that this is a romance book. It's really not. It's really not. Romance is definitely one of the main plots of this, probably the driving plot of this, but not everything. It's definitely more the fantasy world that they're in and the politics and stuff. So yeah, really mixed feelings. I feel like my rating of this will change when I think about it a bit more, but I definitely will read the second one to see if it gets better. I noticed that with A Court of Thorns and Roses, I thought the writing got better on the second one, so I'm hoping maybe the same thing happened for this series. Maybe the writing might got a little bit better, so I'll give it a go. I think the next one is, I think it's A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. In terms of the romance, it's like, I don't know if I liked it. I don't think you're supposed to really like him though. I don't think he's very likable, so, but I think that's on purpose. So I think that was done okay. But yeah, he's not great. Anyway, that's that book. That took me most of yesterday just to kind of like finish off. And then I moved on to Lore Olympus, which is so good. Oh my gosh. It's so funny. I don't think I was expecting it to be so funny, but I'm nearly finished. I think I'm on episode 23. So this is, as I mentioned before, it's a webtoon. So you can actually read this for free on the webtoon app, I think. And originally the author would have uploaded each episode kind of by themselves, but this is a collection of the first 25 episodes, I think. Yeah, 25 episodes in each one. I have volumes 2 and 3, as I shown earlier, and then 4 is coming out soon, I think very, very soon, but I think you can read them all on webtoon. Yeah, I'd rather look at a piece of paper than a screen though, so, but this is so funny. This is so funny. It's so well done. I think if you're into Greek mythology, you will love this. Absolutely love it. The only Greek mythology I know is, like, I read Circe by Madeline Miller, so basically it's about Persephone. She's the goddess of spring. She has just moved to Olympus, I think, and she's living with her friend Artemis, and I think she meets Hades. Hades kind of saves her from, I think her drink was spiked or she was too drunk, I'm not quite sure, and she just gets to meet Hades. I think they like each other. There is actually trigger warnings at the start of this about toxic relationships. I don't know much now, but I think Persephone has a very toxic relationship with her mother. I think her mother overprotects her, and then Hades seems to have had a really toxic relationship before. So I think there's some serious themes in this, but it's still very funny and witty. Very well drawn, very well written. Yeah, loving it so far. Absolutely loving it. Can't wait to finish it. So I definitely will just finish this today. And yeah, I think I do. Do I have my copy? I don't know where my copy is. I think it's downstairs, but my copy of Bridgerton. So I think I'll do Lore Olympus and then move on to Bridgerton this evening. I'm excited to get to that. I know I'm so late to the party. I know I'm so late, but I watched the first 2 episodes of Bridgerton and I'm addicted already. I'm like, I want to watch episode 3 now. But I was like, I need to read, and I would like to actually get through the book more than the show if I possibly can, like maybe get ahead in the book before I watch the rest of the show. That being said, this doesn't happen much, but apparently the show is much better than the book. I've heard some bad things about the book. Like, I think there's problematic things in the book that the show kind of rectifies apparently. What I really like about the show so far is that the cast is really, really diverse, which is really nice, especially for a period piece. So interesting. I'm addicted already. I can't wait. I love all the characters. Excited to read that, but I'm keeping my expectations low. So yeah, that's my little update. I am gonna go drive now for a bit and then I'll come back to reading this evening. So yeah, I think I'll just keep going. It's going to be a little bit more than 48 hours, but I'll just keep going for the rest of the day and get some more reading done, because that's my plans for today. So I'm just going to read more. So we'll keep going. Okay, driving lesson is over. Oh my gosh. I have my test next week, guys, so pray for me, please. It's stressful. Anyway, I'm going to relax and read some more of this. Hi everyone. So I actually did continue the vlog yesterday, but I didn't really film much. I actually ended up filming like a TBR video, and I ended up starting Bridgerton and watching the show some more. Loving it. I'm only a few chapters in, so I can't say I'm totally addicted to the TV show. I can't wait to keep watching it. I think I'm on episode 3 now, or going on to episode 4. I can already tell the show's probably going to be better than this, but I'm actually pleasantly surprised with how good it is. And definitely some similarities with the show. I really like that there's more representation, there's more diverse characters, which I really like. So far it's very, very similar, so I'm excited to continue this going into the rest of February. And then I did finish up Lore Olympus. It definitely took like a heavier turn towards the end, so it definitely has some dark themes to it, like sexual assault, kind of toxic relationships, so maybe check the trigger warnings. There's a whole page of trigger warnings just before you pick it up, so that's the like content warning, so that's quite nice if you did want to check those out before you pick it up yourself. It's also really witty and funny and well drawn and good storytelling. I think my only negative is I think it does kind of expect you to know a little bit about Greek mythology before going in here. You don't need to, but I think you would enjoy it a little bit more, so that's probably my only gripe with it. So yeah, I'm happy with how much I read, considering I wasn't feeling great, to be honest. I'm always like overly optimistic with how much I can read in 48 hours. So yeah, if you'd like to subscribe, I do anything book related, reading vlogs, hauls, anything like that. I'll leave all my socials linked in the description as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.